Hi, this is Alec Pacella, and I'm standing in an office park development known as Landerbrook Corporate Center. So this is on the east side of Cleveland, three-building complex. Caught my eye when I saw a news release last week that was put out by Fitch. Now, many of you may be familiar with Fitch. They're a rating agency. They rate bonds and stocks and various things, and they also rate CMBS issuances, and they downgraded an issuance that this portfolio is a part of. So there's a four-building portfolio that's known as the Cleveland East portfolio, made news about a year ago when it was in special servicing for just a short period of time. They were able to renegotiate a lease extension, lease expiration, I'm sorry, it was coming up, extended it out so that it went back to the master servicer. But Fitch took note of that. So I dug a little bit deeper as there was some pretty interesting things that were in that article or that posting released by Fitch. First thing behind me, so that's building 3, known as building 3. That's Progressive, vacated, no surprise there, vacated this past January, 130,000 square feet in this complex, completely empty. Spinning around, that's building 2, Park Place Technology, which is a great story for here in Cleveland. They made news right about a year ago. They announced that they were going to be searching potentially for a new corporate headquarters. So that's been their home for probably the better part of 8 or 9 years now, about 118,000 square feet. They occupy the entire thing, expire April of 25, and then behind me is building 1. That building is truly multi-tenant, about 50% occupied. The 4th building is Metropolitan Plaza down in Highland Hills. That building also somewhere around 50-60% occupied. So some other things that were interesting in this release. The first thing is, as of July 2023, so about a month and a half ago, the occupancy, the rent roll occupancy for this complex, for this 4-building loan portfolio, was right at 50%. Second thing that was interesting, the loan extension, as a part of that renegotiation that happened, as I said, about a year ago, the loan was extended, the interest rate was monkeyed around with a little bit. The loan was extended to July of 2024. So the clock is clearly ticking on this, trying to figure out the underlying ownership, to figure out what's going on here with the different moving pieces, with the Progressive building now empty, with the Park Place Technology building not potentially, is coming up for expiration in 25. We all know the woes going on with multi-tenant office buildings in general. Let me throw one more little nugget in for you. Fitch used an underwriting, so they have a stress test that they put these loan portfolios under. They use an underwriting cap rate for this particular portfolio, 10.5%. Now, some may argue that that's pretty high. Others may argue that may be a little too low. So it'll be interesting to see the ongoing trials and tribulations of this loan portfolio, and now you have seen what I see at PVC. Hope you have a great weekend, profitable week ahead. Thanks.